Starting right here with the breath. Now, of course, we're creating a healthy habit by dropping into our conscious breathing right away. See if you notice anything about your breath today that you don't normally notice. Whether you like it or not, that has nothing to do with it. It could be where you physically feel the breath. It could be the thoughts that come up in the quiet that you normally try to ignore, but maybe this time you just allow them to be there. Look at them. And then either bring your hands or bring your attention onto your chest. Feel the breath there, really lifting and spreading the upper rib cage. And the softening through the chest area as you breathe out. Maybe you can even feel the expansion on inhale through the widening of the shoulders, the broadening up the upper back. Feel for releasing tension through jaw, tops of shoulders, neck on exhale. Now shift your attention down to the lowest part of your abdomen. Maybe your hands rest on low belly with your thumbs at or below your navel. And you start to soften this area into your hands. It's another symptom of a poofy or a weak rectus abdominis. Frontal abdominal muscles are the fact that they're always tense. We're always holding tight right here, which does not make a muscle stronger. A muscle that is chronically tight is weak. It does not have the contractile force, the lengthening and shortening of a muscle that can relax. So this takes a lot of practice, the constant breath by breath, letting go of the tension here. And then when you have a sense of suppleness, then you engage your bandhas, your mula bandha, your uddiyana, by scooping the lowest part of the belly right off the pubic bone, as if you could scoop the belly up your spine internally. And through a lot of our yoga practice, especially standing postures, that needs to be engaged the entire time to support our spines. But it only works if it also knows how to let go. We'll take a moment to keep it engaged as you shift your attention to the lowest ribs. So this is where our breath will mostly go during active practice. Inhale to fan the ribs out. if possible, in 360 degrees, but the front ribs will give first. And you'll see if you can feel for the side ribs and the back ribs to expand with inhale. At the end of the exhale is when you engage the abdominals, the intercostals to draw the ribs back in and squeeze breath out. So I invite you to play with all those 3 types of breath throughout your yoga poses. When it feels safe to let go of the belly, let the breath run deeper. When you notice you're not consciously breathing, feel for the expansion of the rib cage. Let's come into square pose, either right shin in front of left or stack your right shin on your left shin. Walk your left fingertips out to the side for neck release. Fingertips land 18 inches away from your hip. Reach the right hand to the right, 12 inches off the floor, palm faces down. Inhale. Lift both side ribs off your hips. Exhale, relax the left palm down, relax the left arm. You might feel into a little stickiness with your finger pads to draw the mat towards you to help move the shoulder away from your head neck as you release your head to the left. And if hanging the head just feels like it creates more tightness in the right side of the neck, then back out a little bit. Adjust the angle of your chin. So with each exhale, there's a little bit more let go. And feel free to stay in your neck release, or inhale, right hand up to the sky, rotate the palm towards your head, or even keep rotating pinky finger towards head. Exhale to reach to the left, or choose to keep reaching straight up if your spine prefers. Both directions will open the right side of spine to breath. Running breath into the muscles between the ribs on right side. Lower right hand back down. Keep your neck released as you come back to straight spine. Option of roll chin to chest and or use your left hand to prop your head up. Ardha Matsyendrasana spinal twist. Right foot, if possible, crosses over left knee with both sitting bones on the ground. Left leg can straighten out. Or if your hips are not ready for the cross, uncross. Keep your hips squared. Twist to your right, left hand or elbow to right knee. You can look over right shoulder if that feels like it continues to unwind the neck. Breathe the back bottom ribs out. Exhale, drawing the front ribs in, but not in a way that tightens, in a way that lifts you out of your hips. And take a breath. Exhale, release the twist. Knee pile forward fold. Option to stack right knee on left and bow over your legs. If you prefer a cross-legged seat, do that. And then bow in a way that gets breath all the way down into the hip tissues. If you're looking at me, my neck's not released because of my microphone, but you go ahead, continue to release your neck. And reach back through your tailbone, connect to those lowest abdominals. Use them to pull the rest of your spine up. Now, if you're ever not sure how to connect to those low abdominals, take a breath and release them. See if they can move. And then you'll draw them in. Square pose, left on top of right. Right fingertips out to the side. Left arm reaches left, hover left palm 12 inches off the earth. Inhale, expand the ribs right into your armpits. Exhale, right hand down. Relax the right arm, release head to the right. Err on pressing the head gently back like there's a wall behind you supporting you, and the back of the head's on the wall. The back bottom points of the skull, so don't look up. Stay where you are or reach left arm up to ceiling. Inhale, rotate, wrap the shoulder. Exhale, reach left arm to the right. Feel for extending both sides of the ribs with your inhale breath. Exhale, root down through your pubic bone. Massage low belly in and up. So in these seated poses, you can release the low belly with every inhale and draw it in on the exhales, waking up that lowest part of your body. Lower left hand down. Inhale your spine back to straight with a released neck and head. Maybe use a palm to put your head back on top of spine. Ardha Matsyendrasana, spinal twist, left foot on the floor. Again, if crossing doesn't work for you, at least not on this side, uncross it or straighten the right leg out. Twist to your left. Inhale. Exhale, release the pose. Knee pile or cross-legged seat, forward fold. Reach back through your tail, hug your low abdominals in, and slowly ease your way up to sitting. Let's make a yoga roll. Find a towel or blanket that you can roll up. Or your rolled up mat is fine. In fact, I don't know if you have a real skinny mat, Cynthia, but someday I'll show you how we make the Forrest yoga rolls and duct tape them. I'm curious to add to your yoga toy arsenal. Oh, I mean, I can tell you. If this were your, and when we originally made these in Force Yoga, they were really those real skinny, sticky yoga mats that they used in the 80s and 90s. They don't really make them that thin anymore. But maybe you fold it into thirds, fold it over a third, fold it over another third, and then you roll it up tight. And obviously, you don't have to duct tape it unless you just want to have it around, like some of us do. Now, with the yoga blanket, this makes a little bit too thick, so I just roll it in half. But I'm not going to fuss with it anymore. I'm going to come onto my back. Once your roll is ready, come onto your back, roll between your thighs. Did I confuse you completely, Doreen? Do you need me to talk through the roll again? You know how to make a yoga roll? You got it? All right, come into a chair-like shape, knees directly over your hips. Feet can dangle down. They don't have to be in the chair. Now, as we move through this, the knees will probably get closer and closer to your chest because your hip flexors will help. Pretend there's a glass plane right on your hip bones, like a coronavirus window, that you don't want to break through. Your thighs are balanced against that. Interlace your hands behind your head and neck. Send breath down into your low back. Press it flat. Exhale, curl head and shoulders up. Draw navel to spine. Hug your roll. Inhale into low back. Keep the head and shoulders up from now on. Exhale, twist to your left. Straighten right leg to the ceiling. Draw navel to spine. Squeeze, roll. Inhale, center. Head and shoulders reach up to the sky. Hug your roll, tuck your tail. Exhale, twist right. Send left leg to sky. Activate your toes. Spread the toes and foot tissues. Pull your belly down. Adding thigh traction. Inhale, center. Squeeze, roll, tuck tail. Exhale, twist left, right leg to sky. Right hand takes hold of the right thigh, right where it's coming out of the hip. Send breath into that hip. Exhale, traction your thigh bone up as you squeeze both legs into the roll. Pull your belly down. Inhale, center. Hug, roll, tuck tail. Exhale, twist right, left leg to sky. Take a hunk of meat on your left thigh. Hold on like it's a handle. Send breath into left hip. Exhale, spiral thigh bone up. Pull your belly down. Squeeze your roll. Let's do one more like that. Inhale, center. Press the low back flat. Lift your shoulders. Exhale, twist left. Right leg straight. Hug, roll. Take hold of right thigh. Breathe into right hip. Exhale, spiral thigh bone up. So you're turning the top of the thigh into the roll a little bit, but go subtly. Otherwise, your hip flexor will cramp. Inhale, bend both knees. Lift your shoulders off the mat. Exhale, twist right, left leg straight. Take hold of left thigh. Inhale into left hip. Exhale, spiral left thigh up. Into the roll. Pull your belly in. Star spiral pulse. Inhale, center. Massage your neck. Lift shoulders. Tuck tail. Squeeze roll. Exhale. Twist left. Right leg to sky. Inhale into right hip. Flex your right foot. Turn the toes in towards the left a little. And exhale. Continue to spiral as you pulse your right heel to the sky 3 to 5 times. Pull low belly down, especially the right side low belly. No jerky movements here. As if you could slide thigh bone from pelvic joint. Come back to center. Send breath into your belly. Press your low back flat. Tuck your tail. Exhale. Twist right. Left leg to sky. Inhale to left hip. Flex foot. Rotate foot into center. And exhale. Pulse. 3 to 5 times. Smoothly. Like you're drawing the cork out of the wine bottle. You don't want to break it. Nice and smooth. Do one more like that to each side. On the exhale, the breath is when you do the pulses. And then when you're complete, head down, take the roll away, rest in Supta Baddha Konasana, or if there's a better resting pose for your body, find it and direct your breath down into low belly and hips. All right, find your yoga block. Let's do our SOAS series in 3 parts. So once your block's in reaching distance, leave it alone just so you can use your legs to press the hips straight up to the sky and bridge. Open up those hip flexors that were just working, flexing. Low belly will stay softly in as you breathe up into the chest and bridge. We do that to keep space between bones of spine. All right, slide your block underneath your pelvis the lowest way. Rest your sacrum heavy on the block, even the tailbones untucking onto it. Exhale, draw right knee to chest. Send breath into your right hip. You can hold on to shin or thigh bone. Exhale, soften right thigh, right hip as you hug the thigh in. Breathe the back bottom ribs onto the yoga mat. Relax your low belly. Exhale. Tuck the tail a little bit and feel for the left inner thigh lengthening forward. Lift and spread your toes. Draw navel to spine. Unless that hurts your knee, then straighten your leg. Part 2. Walk the left foot out as far as it'll go without leaving the mat or to where it doesn't hurt your knee. And then once again, send breath down into pelvis. Heavy pelvis on block, relax low belly. Exhale, pull low belly in, pull right thigh in, and spiral top of left thigh in towards center. And part 3, straighten your left knee, lock it out, activate the toes, and relax the left leg. Again, maybe a little internal rotation. Top of thigh in towards left. Send breath down into hips and low belly. Everything in the hip is relaxing, that the foot can be active. And if this, you can see if this feels right to you. You can imagine there's a glass wall right next to your left pinky toe. Gently press against the glass and then continue to release the hip. I'm using glass images because I don't want you to break through anything. Just feel for pressure. All right, draw left knee in. Set the right foot down. Untuck your tail. Breathe the back bottom ribs onto the mat, or release low belly out. Exhale, soften left thigh. Hug your left knee in. And when things feel soft enough in left hip, then they might need time. They were just stretching. Send your focus into the top of the right thigh with your knee still bent like bridge. Inner thigh reaching forward. Just notice where you feel the traction and run breath through it. Part 2, walk the right foot out, but leave it on the mat. A little internal rotation if that feels okay to your joints. Send breath down into the pelvis, like you could sneak the breath right between the bones of the pelvis. That triangle of the sacrum. Exhale, hug the left knee in. Little tuck of tail without curling it. Straighten the right leg out. Spread your 5 toes. You could spread all 10 toes. And let the heavy right leg start to release from right hip. Option to add a little internal rotation. Option to press into the glass wall by your pinky toe. And set right foot on the mat. Set left foot on the mat. Press both hips up into bridge. And then maybe you come onto your tippy toes smoothly so you can get the block the tallest way underneath your back. If that doesn't work for you today, that's okay. You can keep the block low or medium. And notice what you would normally choose. Would you push through the pain or would you run away from it? And maybe choose to do the opposite today. I shouldn't say pain. We never push through pain and we never run away. We look at it and see what that really is. Where's the appropriate challenge? If we look and see it's actual pain, like inflammation around joints, that's not something we need to work with. Change the shape so you're not feeling any burn. Not in the joints themselves. In the belly of the muscle. That's okay. Keep the belly in. Breathe up into the rib cage. Expand side ribs, back ribs. Exhale, soften jaw. Move the block out of the way so you can slowly come down. And one more piece. Find your roll, put it between your thighs, and press back into bridge. If you have tweaky knees, the roll might not work. So go slow. Make sure knees are happy about holding the roll. It's not a big squeeze, just like we talked about yesterday. Enough effort to hold the roll means your thighs are turned on. Feel for sending the roll forward as you flatten out through the tops of the thighs, the hip flexors, and breathe into your heart. Arms, shoulders, relax. You can tuck shoulders if you like to make sure neck is off the earth. Try not to use your arms or jaw. Drive your heels down. All right, slowly roll your spine down. Take a moment to rest, either in Supta Baddha Konasana or the reverse of that, knees together, feet apart. So you can run breath through hips, low belly. Slowly find your way to all fours while you breathe. Dolphin Prelude. Come down onto your elbows. Wrap your hands around your upper arms halfway between the elbow and shoulder. That will bring your elbows right under a shoulder joint. Keep them there. Clasp your hands in front of you. Lean your hips back. You might want to walk your knees back and rest your head on the floor. Option, point knuckles to the ceiling. Feel for white knuckles. Release your grip on your hands. We are breathing tension on the shoulders, and sometimes the body wants to hold on to its comfortable patterns, its tension patterns. So you might literally be gripping. Let it go. How much you reach back through your down dog tail, I'll leave up to how that feels to you in the shape. For some spines, reaching back actively through the hips is necessary to get breath between the bones. Run your breath into your upper back, between the shoulders, into the top of the neck. Exhale, soften to the earth. Maybe gently hug the elbows in without moving them. Relax your jaw. Breathe the back bottom ribs out. Relax your low belly out. Exhale, hug low abdominals in. Now, if you're feeling things unwind in this very tense area, shoulders, upper back, you stay here. If you'd like to move towards dolphin, then put your hands down. Keep your gaze towards your navel as you shift your weight forward so head is off the earth. Feel free to remeasure elbow distance to reset your hands. Either interlace the other way or place your palms down in front of your elbows. Press the earth away to get a lift out of the shoulders. Hug elbows in. Both dolphin prelude and dolphin at this point in practice are to get breath and consciousness into your shoulders. The end goal is not dolphin with knees off the mat. You head there if that helps expand breath and consciousness into shoulders. So the end goal is always within feeling, awareness. It's never an external shape. If you chase the external shapes, well, I promise you in yoga, they never end. There is no end. All right, set your knees down, sit back on your heels for embryo pose. Again, if embryo is an appropriate, let go pose with your hands by your feet and your shoulders hanging. If it's not, take another shape, maybe roll on your back. With your hands heavy on the earth, do this movement very mindfully because it might not be great for your neck. Inhale, roll the shoulders up towards your ears and off the floor, and exhale, roll them away from neck. And feel free to take one or two more gentle, fluid shoulder rolls like that. And slowly find your way up to standing. horse stance for Uddiyana Agnisara. Feel free to expose your belly. I think I told you guys my teacher, Heather Tiddens, probably while I was still in teacher training, maybe even before, when I first met her in a workshop, recommended doing this every morning in front of the mirror. I know I don't do it every morning, but I do it enough that I see the benefit. All right, we'll start leaning forward enough that you can get the belly to soften to pull it into Uddiyana. But then when we do our Uddiyana Agnisara, you're welcome to come into back traction, hands on thighs closer to hips, straight spine, if that works for you. Let's do an Uddiyana together. Take a breath, blow it out, hold it out, soften your belly. Hold your breath out, tuck your chin, pull your soft belly back, and then fly it up. No longer than 8 seconds. When you need to breathe, relax. Next 2 rounds, you might do the same exact thing. Hold it out, draw the abdominals, soften the abdominals so you can draw them up. Or Agnisara. While you're holding your breath out, you can release and pull in as many times as you can while you're holding your breath out. All right, take a breath. Blow it out, hold it out. Tuck chin, draw abdominals in, and then scoop them up. Either hold or release and repeat while holding breath out. And for different bodies and on different days, sometimes it's harder to let it go all the way, and sometimes it's harder to pull it in all the way. Feel for balancing that. And when you're done, come to Tadasana, feet hips width apart. Let's do our walking hips. Step your left foot forward 1 stride, outside edges of feet parallel to the edges of your yoga mat, hands on your hips. Feel for the hips being balanced. Maybe the hip bone's vertical to pubic bone if that's a good alignment for you. Whatever the alignment is, though, keep it steady. Inhale, shift your weight onto the left foot so the left hip tips up a little, and then shift back onto the right foot. Right hip will rise. And just go back and forth like that, nice and smooth. Feeling the tip side to side of the hip bones. One side rises than the other, but there's no twist. And there's no tilting of the pubic bone, tailbone. So maybe it's a small range of motion, but just feel for smoothing that out. Lubricating hip joints. And go ahead, step the right foot forward and continue. And breathe into low back ribs. Exhale, scoop low abdominals in. Then release them on the inhale. And I know we won't be walking much the next couple days with the rain, but next time you're walking on the beach, feel free to experiment with that. Weight shift. Let's come into Tadasana at the front of your mat for Surya Namaskara B. Utkatasana. Inhale, sit back in your chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward. Warrior 1, right foot forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale to the earth. Inhale. Exhale. Left foot. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, down. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward. 3 breaths. Always welcome to Turbo Dog. And step or hop your feet forward. Breathe your heart forward. Exhale, fold. Utkatasana. Inhale, sit back in chair. Exhale, Samastitihi. Again, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, Chaturanga. Or skip Chaturanga, go into down dog. And take a breath in. And out. Right foot forward. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale. Left foot. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale. 3 breaths. Step or jump your feet to your hands. Inhale your chest forward. Exhale, fold. Utkatasana. Inhale, sit back. Tuck your tail to stand up, Samasthitihi. So you're using your butt and legs to stand up, not your back muscles. Good. One more round. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, Chaturanga or down dog. Remember, you can skip this whole sun salute and do cat's cows. Inhale. Exhale, downward dog. Right foot forward. Inhale, Virabhadasana A. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, Chaturanga. Oh, I see toes lifting and spreading. Very good. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward. Down dog abs or tabletop abs. Right leg straight back. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, stretch back, spread your toes. Exhale, knee to left elbow, cross it under. Pull the sides of the waist up. Inhale, stretch back. Exhale, knee to right shoulder. Or knee tries to touch right tricep, try that. Inhale, stretch back. Exhale, knee to nose. Option, keep your shoulders over wrists, up level. Inhale, stretch back, or set your back knee down. Exhale, knee left elbow. Or sit this round out. Inhale, stretch back. Exhale, kneecap to right triceps if you're being meticulous. Good. Inhale, stretch back. Everyone, foot down, knees down, child's pose, or puppy pose if your spine prefers. Puppy's when you leave your hips up, kind of like dolphin prelude. All right. Just one more side with the down dog abs, downward dog, or come into tabletop and leave right knee on earth. And then everyone stretch left leg back. Exhale, knee to nose, draw navel to spine, curl pubic bone and navel. Inhale, stretch back. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Pull the sides of the waist up. Good. Inhale, stretch back. Exhale, knee, left triceps. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, knee to nose, or choose to be done. You've already done a round. Inhale, stretch back. Exhale, right triceps. Inhale, stretch back. Exhale, left triceps. Touchy, touchy, touchy. Inhale, stretch back. Exhale, child's pose. Find your way into triangle. From downward dog or table, step your right foot almost up to your hands. Spin the left heel down. So left foot ends up maybe 2.5, 3 feet behind the right. Right hand to shin, thigh or big toe, or block. Left hand to hip. Spiral open, and then option to reach left arm directly across from the right arm. Right hand can be down on the right leg. Yes, and then maybe left arm reaches up to sky, or keep it on your back if that helps you to spiral open without straining back. So sometimes left hand on sacrum will guide that. Reverse warrior. Bend your right knee, push your feet into the ground to come up. Heel toe the feet a little wider into warrior two if you like. Exhale, right arm up. Any expression of reverse warrior. If you like back traction, you can press left hand into hip. You can relax the left arm, you can wrap it. Extended warrior, any variation. Right forearm to thigh, left arm crosses ear, or right hand can work down to ankle, floor, or block on either side of foot. With your hand on your ankle, press your feet into the mat so there's not a lot of weight going into that right shoulder. Runner's lunge. Inhale. Exhale, downward dog. Or vinyasa or cat-cow if you prefer. Triangle, left foot forward. And spiral open from the ground up. If you prefer to stand up and come down, you can do that. I find it's easier on the back to simply build this from the feet up. And Dorian, maybe just for a moment, take your right hand to your right hip. Yeah. And look down at your left toe. Inhale, feel like you could lengthen your spine, your chest out over your toe. And exhale, tuck your tail towards your back heel. Engage your butt muscles. Bend your left knee. Inhale, maybe widen the feet for warrior two. And exhale, reverse. Left arm to sky or reach it past ear. If you work on reaching straight up and straightening the left arm, you will feel there's a lot of opening in left side body. Extended warrior, left forearm to thigh, or hand working its way down. Exhale, runner's lunge. Hands frame the front foot. You might lift your hips really high to spin them towards left foot. Exhale, downward dog. Right foot forward, lunge. Back knee down. Hands on either side of front foot beyond your fingertips, sinking hips towards the front heel. Breathe your shoulders back, your heart forward. Then your choice, either lower it onto your belly for H to B, left heel to butt, or back your hips up. Pad your left knee enough that you can bend left knee and there's no pain or pressure on the kneecap itself for heel to butt. So if you're not doing this in lunge, you can either choose to stay in lunge, that is a hip flexor stretch, or line your belly and bring left heel to butt. And carefully release your foot. Find your way back into lunge, right foot forward. Bring your hands onto your front thigh. Drive your back knee down as you send tail straight down. Breathe the back ribs up. Arch your arms. Left arm up, bend the left elbow. Right hand holds left elbow, or full bind. Carefully release your hands. Come onto your knees for camel prep. Hands on your hips. You can put your roll between your thighs if you're still learning how to connect to your legs and buttocks and get out of your back, or if you just want some extra protection for your low back. Inhale. Send your real or invisible mat towards the floor as you send your sacrum down. Lift your chest to the sky. Exhale, roll the shoulders back, tweeze the elbows back. 3 breaths, getting taller and taller through the rib cage. And press down on your sacrum, squeeze your real or visible roll to breathe your heart forward. Come to all fours, take a cat-cow. Lunge, left foot forward for heel to butt, or lie on your belly for, oh, actually, we do lunge first, sorry. Lunge, fingertips on the earth. Then either line your belly for right heel to butt, or pad your back knee and draw your heel in with whichever hand is accessible. And carefully release your foot, return to lunge. Then lunges back your hips up a bit, tuck your tail down. Arms to sky. Bend your right elbow, left hand to right elbow, half archer or full archer. Carefully release the bind. Come to your knees for either one more round of camel or sit back in child's pose if you're done with extensions. We started late, so I'm going to run a little over with Shavasana. But we'll do camel and I'll cool you guys down. So if you're going to your next class, Cynthia, you'll be cool at least going into next class. Any version of camel. Press your tail down. Inhale, lift your ribs up. Exhale, ease shoulders, elbows back. Either stay here in this back traction shape, getting taller and taller, or let your head go back and reach back for your heels. Breathe your chest forward and up. Good. Bring your hands back to your hips if they're down. Ground your sacrum down. Breathe the chest forward and up to come out. Head follows if it's back. Come to all fours and take a cat-cow. Nice and slow. Your spine might not be ready for cat-cow. Then just gently wiggle hips side to side. And we'll sit for Dragonfly series. Sitting in a straddle. I'm not concerned how wide your legs are. If your legs go real wide, but you tuck your tail under, well, either sit up on a blanket or a few blankets, or bring the legs closer together so you can untuck the tail, root your pubic bone down. Very important for your back, especially after spinal extensions. Flex the left toe or flex the toes up to the sky. Make sure all 10 toes are pointing up, especially pinky toe. And then your choice, whether you keep them flexed or you relax. Passive twist, yin twist. Look at your right toes. Keep the spine straight up and down. Breathe length into your spiraling spine. Exhale, soften the shoulder blades back towards each other and down without popping front ribs out. Inhale, center. Exhale, spiral to the other side. Getting taller. Aiming belly button towards pinky toe gradually with each exhale. Inhale, left arm straight up. Exhale, side bend over right leg. Right arm might come out to the right leg, or it might reach for your left thigh, whatever helps keep your heart open. Nice. Then back out of that a little bit. Inhale, look down at your right leg. Exhale, bring hands to frame the right leg and bow over it. At this point in practice, I'm totally fine with left hip rising, as long as that feels okay to your low back. And left toes, knee rolling in is fine, anatomically, as a generalization. Keep your neck relaxed as you walk your hands back in. So you come up into your twist, looking at right big toe. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, lean to the left. Look down, hand down. Lift your torso up enough you can spin your belly towards left knee. And exhale, bow. And lift up, walk out between your two legs. Any expression of forward fold, which might mean hands down, locking elbows out. So you can relax without worrying about flopping into it. Or you can use your proppings. Slowly ease yourself out. Help your legs back together. And if you're staying for Shavasana, head on down to relax. If you're heading to next class, keep breathing. And make sure you're comfortable in this relaxation so you can really let the muscles relax. Let the bones settle into whatever's supporting them. If you have questions, Doreen, just let me know. I have lots of ideas. And put your hands on your belly. Take a slow, full breath down into your belly. Let it relax. Exhale, send that breath into any part of your body that could need a little extra healing from your practice. Move slow as you bend your knees. Maybe roll off to your side if that's a nice, easy way for you to come up. Crawl your way up to sitting. May we benefit from our practice. May our practice benefit not only us, but all beings everywhere. Namaste.